Hey guys, it's Grant here. Thank you so much for being on time. There's 7 of you here on time, 22 registered. Let's get started. So as I've just written in the comments on the right-hand side, you might have seen that if you have questions from today's webinar, type them in as we go. We're going to be covering a heck of a lot of ground today in the 59 and a half minutes that we have left. There's my notes for today. Normally I have that many notes. Today I have that many notes. So I've just got off a coaching call as well, just out of interest with my coach, which is amazing. And they're the kind of notes that I take from my coach. So I expect you guys to take a whole bunch of notes today as well, which would be really cool. I do it with my coach. I'd love for you guys to be able to do it as well. So today we're talking about how we can make our winter better than summer. So wherever you are with your business, I want you to focus, because I'm looking at who's here. Bunch of different people, bunch of different businesses. Even if you've got similar businesses, they're still different, right? So first of all, mic check. Can you hear me okay? Just put a Y just so I can see if people can hear me. Yep, good. Thank you very much. I can see that people can hear me. You can obviously see me, you lucky things. Is Avril here? Oh, there she is. Hey, Avril, I wore this just for you. That's what happens when you get dressed on purpose in the morning. So I'm just going to share my screen here, see if I can do this. You guys should see if I've done this correctly. Share. All right, awesome. You guys should see a little slideshow there. Cool. So I'm going to tell you guys a little story. It's about Johnny. So I wonder whether we can just hide that sidebar. Beautiful. Awesome. So, look, this is Johnny. And, guys, I want you to think about Johnny because you might be Johnny. This is Johnny. So Johnny's a bit sad because Johnny had no mates. He was lonely, poor Johnny. So what did Johnny do when he was lonely? Johnny went and he hid. He hid away. And when he hid away, he decided he was going to get really grumpy. Get grumpy at the world and grumpy at all the things around him because he was lonely. So when he was hiding away, he decided to start penny pinching. He didn't feel like doing anything fun. He started to get angry. He started to get frustrated. He started to blame people. He started to think that there was something wrong with everybody. Because they didn't like to hang around him, and they weren't coming to him, and they weren't coming up to him and asking him if he wanted to play and asking him if he was okay and all that sort of stuff, right? So Johnny started getting angry. Oh, here we go, Johnny started getting angry and frustrated. I shouldn't have touched that button. So what did Johnny do? Johnny decided that he was going to keep nice and safe. Johnny hid away where the rest of the world couldn't hurt him or find him or see him. Johnny put himself in a safe place. He hid and, what do we call it? He hibernated away. And look at little Johnny sleeping there. Johnny, in a lot of ways, he shrunk back. He made himself small because Johnny wanted to be right. He didn't want to be made wrong by everybody. Johnny wanted to be right. He wanted to make himself small, and he deliberately made himself small so that by him doing that shrinking action, it made him in control. It put him in charge. If I make myself small, that means I've done it. I've made myself small. I've shrunk back. And he played with his nuts. Now, why did they do this? Why did they put this slide in there? That doesn't seem, that's right. It was me that created the slide. Better be clear on this. Johnny became content with what he had. Johnny decided that all of the things that he had done in summer, all of the nuts that he'd gathered, all of the friends he'd made, all of the money that he'd made in his business, Johnny, was enough to see him through winter. He'd had his busy season. He'd had his peak period. He was okay. So he could survive through the winter, through the hibernation, through the shrinking back, he could survive on the storage of his nuts. And this made Johnny very happy indeed, until the time, of course, that where he ran out of nuts and started to go hungry. But that's another story altogether. Johnny was surrounded by nuts. He was surrounded by his fear, and he had shrunk back. And nobody came to visit poor little Johnny. And little Johnny felt very sad. But Johnny's mum, who is hot, by the way, I just have to say, when I looked up mum with idea is what I typed into Google to get this image, and I went, fair dinkum. That's anyway. Johnny's mum had a plan. She said, I know my little boy is amazing, and I'm going to send out invitations to everyone, everywhere, to come and see Johnny. So she made up an invitation, and friends got the invitation, and they were very happy. They were really pleased that they got invited to come see Johnny. And slowly, friends of friends started to get the invitation as well, because the word got out that Johnny's mum was putting on something massive for Johnny. She was putting on a big party, and all of them should be coming. Even some accidental new friends saw it on some social media, and they decided that they wanted to be a part of it as well, because it looked pretty exciting, and Johnny's mum was running it. And we all know that Johnny's mum's a little bit like Stifler's mum. She's hot, and she knows how to run a party. Even some people that we'd never heard of and never met before, but still seemed pretty cool, decided that they wanted to come along as well. And what happened is they all turned up. They all turned up to this thing, and they had a lovely time. They had fun. And then after the party, they went and told everyone on their own social media accounts and so on. And they told everyone, no matter where they could, they'd say, oh, have you heard Johnny had a party, and it was amazing, and it was great. And then Johnny was happy. And now he's busy saying thank you to everybody, and he's never lonely ever again. And why am I talking about Johnny and his party? Well, we have probably guessed by now that Johnny is representative of so many of you in your businesses in Australia. We have a problem in Australia, and that is that we see ourselves as the all year round place of summer. And, where the sun shines all the time, and no matter who you are, no matter what you do, I can't understand why there's a summer mentality and a winter mentality. And it's here in Tasmania as well, by the way, where it's winter all year round. It's not really. It's actually freaking hot today. Yeah, that's right, 18 degrees. So I don't understand why we do this. So you've got to switch this off in your brain. What we're going to talk about today, because I said the topic of today's webinar is make your winter busier than your summer. I say this a lot to a lot of people. So the time that it stood out for me the most, I just want to tell you this real quick. 22 in the sun, Morris says. Guys, when I first started working with Ritza, all right, so Ritza, hi if you're here. I don't know if you're here today. I can't see. If you're here, Ritza, just say hi. And if you're watching this in the replay, I'm going to be talking about you, dude, okay? So when I first met with Ritza, they've got a restaurant, and it's in Launceston. And summer trade, booming. Outside dining, lots of wine, food. Everyone comes out of hiding in summer. They wax their legs, and they put on their frock, and they head down, and they pretend that winter didn't happen. And then winter comes, and boom, everyone disappears. And I thought that's pretty uncool. When I worked for L'Oreal, it was the same problem. People would have their blonde highlights and everything done in summer, and they'd be out partying, and everyone would share, and they'd let their regrowth grow over winter, and they'd wear a beanie, and no one gave a crap. Well, how do we combat this? So with the hair care profession, we introduced the autumn-winter collection and the spring-summer collection, and we built atmosphere around what we did. We took responsibility. Write this down. We took responsibility for the atmosphere. You have to take responsibility for the atmosphere. You have to take responsibility for the season. It's probably no secret to you that I am building an atmosphere. at the moment around BB24, around Business Breakthrough 24. Well, that's in May. It's freaking cold in May. People won't want to come out. So when do I have to do it? Right now. And this is what you've got to start doing right now. Right now, today, you guys are going to start planning for some atmosphere. Don't worry. Before you've left this webinar today, I will teach you all of the steps on how to do it. So I want to know right now, who's in? Who wants to build some atmosphere around their business and be like happy little Johnny and have a heap of people come to their party? Right, so we're going to commit as a team, we're going to commit to doing this. There's going to be no excuses, right? No excuses. There's going to be action. There's going to be implementation, and there's going to be an exciting atmosphere. We're going to take control over the atmosphere, all right? And we're going to push through, and we're going to keep going even when it seems hard. And let me tell you right now, it's hard, right? This is hard work. You're about to embark on something hard, but very satisfying. Hard, but heaps of fun. See, your winter business should be, in fact, busier than your summer business. And I made that promise to Ritza at Ilaya. And I said to her, your winter business will be busier than your busiest summer. That is a word for word quote. Your winter will be busier than your busiest summer. Why don't you all ask Ritza if that happened? Why don't you jump on Profit Rocket later and ask her if it happened, right? Just ask. Now, Mel said totally was busier than last summer, and I assume she's talking about her business. You guys, let's do this. So let's focus on winter. Let me talk you through how we can do this. Number one is that you are going to create an event. Now, I'm just going to have a sip of my water. When you talk a lot and you talk for a living, you get thirsty. By the way, 11 kilos so far this year. I hope you guys don't mind me being a little thinner. So number one is we create an event. And the event doesn't have to be, I mean, you've seen me do Business Breakthrough 24 and you might be thinking, oh, holy shit, I don't want to build a bloody big event like that with 100 and something people coming to it. Don't think it has to be huge. An event can be so simple, so simple. It can be 12 people gathering around the one objective. It can be, if you have a food-based business, you base it around one thing that's one of your products. If you have an exercise business, you base it around one of your products. If you had, no matter what, in fact, no matter what you got, base it around one of your things, right? So, you know, with Ritza, back in the early days, we talked about theme nights. Themes are easy. Themes are things that people can get. So if I invited you to a party and it was a themed party, you know, there'd be photographs. You'd come because it's fun and it's easy. You know, Gaynor and I are going on a cruise. I've talked about this later this year. And there's theme nights on the cruise. And it's great. We're going to be, I mean, the cruise is good enough, but we're getting involved. There's a formal night. There's a Mexican night. There's an 80s night. There's a disco night. You better believe I'm doing all of them because I want the photos and I don't mind feeling a little bit silly as well. But whatever the event is, guys, start to think now. What can I do in, so we're in what month? March, April, May, June, July, August. April, May, June, July, August. And I want you to think in April, what's an event that I can run that's easy, that I can have 5 people come to? What's an event that I can run in May that's easy and I can have 24 people come to? What's an event that I can run in June, July, and August that goes over 3 months that's easy and I can have the 24 plus 8 that went to the other 2 events come to, and I can also have another 30 or 40 people. So what do we do? How do we think about this event? Well, first of all, we use the framework of ecology that you've heard me talk about. And for those of you that have been around for a while, you'll have heard me talk about this a lot. It has to feel good, it has to be good for you, good for others, and good for the greater good. What do you got to do? You got to do the level 2 behavior, and that's where it feels a bit bad, but it's still good for you, good for others, and good for the greater good. How do we do that? Well, we have to make it inclusive. We have to make it kind of like a mini membership-based exclusive. I'm going to be covering a lot of points in this, so I don't want to get. I know what I'm about to talk about, so I don't want to actually repeat myself too many times. But make it easy to get to. So remember, I've talked about this to almost all of you. It has to be the first, the best, the only, marketable, accessible, and replicable. But let's focus on accessible. Let's focus on the easy yes. Just make it a tiny little step for them to want to come to. So make a list now, or write the title down for the list. What are the benefits of the cooler weather for your business? What are all the plus points? I want you to list 50 positive things about winter and your business, about winter and your product. 50 positive things. Most of you will get to 10 and get stuck. Brainstorm the absolute crap out of this. Get a big sheet of paper and write down, if I can do it, you can do it. Write down 50 different things that are positive about your business in winter, positive about a product within your business in winter. Then I want you to think about the people you're going to invite and think about their biggest frustration. Their biggest frustration. So for me at the moment, I'll just tell you what I'm doing. So business breakthrough, their biggest frustration is time. For the business owners I'm trying to attract, biggest frustration is time. They don't think they've got enough time. So I am doing a lead-in program that solves the problem of time, and that's being launched next week or in 10 days from now, where there'll be a video that they get to opt in. So it's like, hey, Tasmanian business owner, blah, blah, blah. Speaking to my avatar, I've got this thing for you, and it's easy. It's a video that teaches you how you can solve the problems of time within your business. And it's completely free. Grab it here. And they go to the landing page to unlock the video. They're just got to put in their details. That's it. That's it, right? So it's easy for them to get to. But what have you got to do? What did Johnny do? He became the king of follow-up after his birthday party. So once they come to the first thing, you got to follow up. So make it something easy that you can follow up. Just put something in their hand that's useful for them. Thinking ahead of time, thinking, I got to fill this party. I got to make this party really cool. I got to make it easy for them to come to. But first of all, they maybe got to come to my little gathering before they come to my party. Firstly, they're going to come to my little thing before I bring them to my big thing. Cool? So make it inclusive, make it easy for them to get to. Second thing, you got to make it about them. Because if you make it about, oh man, I have seen some of the worst friggin' advertising going around lately, and the worst marketing, worst advertising ever, specifically in real estate, where they just talk about themselves. You guys probably hear this and see this as well wherever you live. But man, oh man, I just want to tell them that it's not about them. But you know, you got to make it about the people you're trying to attract. So what do they need and what do they want? Specifically to do with the cooler weather and the cooler climate, the cooler time, or it rains a bit more, or wherever you are, it might be hotter, or whatever the problem is with the weather at that time of year. How can you offer them something that they want in that time? It's got to be about them. It's got to be them focused. It's got to be, as I've said to Mel earlier this week, she made a comment about me teaching her to be a drug dealer. If you haven't had that conversation with me yet, you want it. How do we make it very deep, very personal, very narrow, and emotionally connected? What do they want? How can you make it about them? And how can you invite them to come along? Johnny's party had free fairy bread. Johnny's mum knew how to get people in. How are you getting people in? I remember when I was 11 years old, there was a photo of this party on my Facebook page. See if you can find it in my photos. There was a photo of me at my 11th birthday party. And I had a Star Wars party. At least that's what I thought I was having. There was no such thing as stormtrooper masks or anything back then. So mum got a couple of cheap, crappy masks and played some games and stuff. I didn't want to play games at my birthday party. I wanted to sit and eat hot dogs and drink creamy soda and get presents. But, you know, mum, bless her, she got all these cool games and stuff going. But it was all about my friends. My mum wanted to make sure my friends had a good time. And, you know, 30-something years later, I can still remember that party. It was really, really cool. It's probably the best birthday party I ever had. Probably should ring my mum later and thank her for it. But you got to make it all about them, right? If you're making it about you, and if you think, oh, yeah, I'm going to do this event, make some more sales or whatever, forget it. You've lost. You focus on the money, and the money will never come, right? Focus on them. Focus on how you're serving them. Focus on creating something atmospheric and memorable for them. Now, you can do all that. But then what happens sometimes is you create the event, but then forget to tell people. I've done this before. I would have created before something like Business Breakthrough 24 and put all the effort and energy into creating the event and then not told anyone about it. Well, I can tell you right now, you've seen it. I'm being a total tart with the info about this, and it's everywhere. I've even, on my notes from my coach earlier on today, make posters and tickets, stuff I haven't been doing. Like, there's just lists of stuff that I still have to do that I haven't even thought of yet. And you've seen the energy around it, and you've got to tell everyone. So, I've been focusing on Facebook ads. I've been focusing on Google ads. I've been focusing on Facebook Live. I've been focusing on Twitter, focusing on Snapchat, focusing on Instagram, focusing on just about everything I possibly can, Instagram. Still, there's more to be done. So really, it's about the deep personal connections. Here's something you might not have tried in a while. I did this earlier today. Check it out. I'll show you my call list. Hopefully there's no one embarrassing in there. Okay, so check it out there. Sarah from Facebook. So there's my wife and a few other people. Sarah from FB. Sarah from Facebook. That's a girl called Sarah who I called earlier today, and Sarah is about to join one of the 3 programs that I offer. And her and her husband are just talking about it at the moment. They're going to call me back this afternoon with the credit card details, and they'll book in and pay. And they'll probably watch the replay of this webinar and think, Grant, you sneaky bugger. But Sarah's been hanging around my Facebook Live. And if I go into the Facebook Live video, I won't bother doing it. If you go into the Facebook Live video, you can see who's liked, you can see who's shared. Well, she's liked and shared a whole bunch of things a whole bunch of times. So I decided to track her down. Never met her. Tracked her down, gave her a call. Now, you do this and people will feel connected with, right? So that's the next stage of the strategy. Here, I said, try something you haven't done in a while. Pick up the phone and talk to people who are engaging with your stuff. If you're not talking to them, you're not selling to them, and you're not inviting them, and you're not bringing them along, and they're not going to feel included, and all you're doing is spinning your wheels. Got to get brave. Got to have the connections. Right. Next thing is to tell them to tell their friends. I've been doing the same thing. I've partnered with Ultra 1065 radio station down here. I've partnered with the Fuji Xerox Business Center. I've partnered with Tasmania Plus magazine, who have written an amazing article on me. I'm going to post it in the Profit Rocket group later for you all to read because I'm really proud of it. I've partnered with the Hobart Chamber. I've partnered with, who else have I got? One more joint venture. Startup Tasmania as well. So I've got 5 really good, solid joint ventures where there's friends of friends, people who, some of them I had never met. In fact, there's another one as well that I went to yesterday, which is the Tasmania Business Enterprise Centre. Never been there before, never. But I went in as a friend, supported them, talked to them, offered them some stuff, took in a copy of my book, took in some stuff, took in that template that I recently created, gave them permission to use it. You guys can give this out to anyone. Oh, by the way, before I go, would it be okay if I gave you guys an email to send out to your entire list to invite them to my Business Breakthrough event, which they'd never heard of before? And they did, and they've agreed to do that. And that's in the process to be doing next Monday, the Wednesday after that, and a couple of weeks gap, and then a couple of weeks after that, right? So we've agreed to a thing. Friends are friends. You've got to start focusing on these joint venture operations. For those of you that have done joint ventures, you'll know how good they are. But bring them to an event. Right? Have a focused endpoint on this. I trust you guys are going okay. I can't see the comments at the moment. I'm waiting to the end for the comments, and I'll get there. This one here, utilize FOMO. What is FOMO? Someone just asked. Fear of missing out, right? You've all read the books that I've asked you to read. You've all read Influenced by Dr. Robert Cialdini. I don't have to go on and on about that. You know I love it. One of my favorite dudes to hang out with locally is a guy called Dean Newington. Dean Newington, he's the owner of a very large gym and aquatic center here, and he's just read it, like he's just got through it, and we can have these really cool two-way conversations about some stuff that we both now know. FOMO is the fear of missing out. So you have to focus on the fact that people don't want to miss out on what you're offering. You have to believe at a really high level that this event you're offering, people will want it and they'll be afraid of missing out. And you need to focus on that in your conversations, almost to the point where you're saying, you know what, there's really not enough space for everyone. Johnny's party with the clown and the Frankfurts and the chocolate crackles and the cans of creaming soda and slip and slide and all the stuff. I'll get out 250 invites. There's only room for 8 people. You would have seen, and by the way, I'll talk about overselling again in a minute. You've seen I put an article up regarding a Tony Robbins thing, a Tony Robbins event, where they oversell Tony Robbins events by 25%. And it's true, you can oversell your events as well, but you want to make it sound like there's not enough room for everyone. So although I've got the Ricky Ponting, where I've talked about the Ricky Ponting suite at Blundstone Arena and so on, I'm not saying publicly that it can seat 180 people. What I'm focused on is that we're filling up fast. The reality is we've sold about 24 tickets and I can seat 180, but I'm still telling people that it's filling up really fast and you absolutely don't want to miss this must-see event. Not only is it world-class, but it's going to teach you these 3 things that you need to know to have more time in your business. So I'm utilizing the FOMO. I'm speaking into their lives, into their personal situations, into their fear, into what they want. It's all about them. If I made it about me, hi, I was a wanker before I got here. I'm a wanker now. I'll be a wanker when I leave and no one will come, right? And that would be really bad and really scummy and I'd be crying into my pillow over night time. Number 7, promote the shit out of it. Be like a hard-ass, knife-wielding, bootstrapping, street-fighting mofo, focusing on FOMO. And you've got to yell this stuff from the rooftops and you've got to tell people about it and you've got to stop being a shy little business owner and hiding away saying, oh, no, I better not tell anyone. Because if I tell people, nobody will come. And if nobody comes, then I won't be a failure and no one will reject me. Put yourself out there to be rejected. Otherwise, no one will freaking come to your thing. You've got to tell them all about it. Do you see boxing promoters sitting back going, we're doing a boxing event. We're a bit ashamed of ourselves. You probably won't want to come. It's just blokes hitting each other. No, it's big. It's an event. Create something with tits and feathers on it. Make it loud. Do something fun. No one in winter is going to come out for something beige. People don't want beige. Beige is boring. Do something big and ballsy and brassy and fun. Put yourself out there a bit. Far out. This timid, I'm afraid of being cut down as the tall poppy thing in Australia right now for anyone on this webinar stops today. Stops. If I'm your coach, you don't do it. Got it? Good. It stops. Period. Take what I'm saying here very seriously. It stops today. If you're just make yourself a tall poppy, who cares? Just do it. The more of us that do it, more people will just want to do it with us. I'm going to give you an example of evidence and proof of this right now. You have all heard, no doubt, no matter where you are in Australia right now, you've no doubt heard of Mona, the Museum of Old and New Art here in Hobart, Tasmania. The guy who owns Mona is a guy called David Walsh. Now, David looked at where he put his museum out at Marilla Winery, which is a gorgeous place, and he said, you know what? No one's doing anything in winter. So what did he do? He put on a festival. And all it was, and it probably cost him $1 million, but all it was a whole bunch of lights, big lights, bigger than, like, they were 4 meter diameter, 4 meter radius, 4 meters diameter lights, right? And he got 24 of them and he put them all in a square. And then he got these big speakers to let out these low resonant hums. Wah, 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 wah. And he put it in the middle of this, of the thing we call the domain, which is a big grassy area elevated above the city. and it went boom up into the sky and made a like 20 meter by 20 meter column of light that went up into the air that you could see from halfway across the state. Right? And that's all he did. And people came out of their houses to see it. And that was year 1. Year 2, he put on some theatre to go with it. And that was year 2. Year 3, he put on theatre and food and lights. Year 4, he put on theatre and food and lights in a festival, and he put it on twice, I think. And then he spread it out throughout the city into all these different. And this year, goodness knows what he's going to do in winter, but it's bound to be huge. And other industries have sprung up as a result of it. And this is because of one person's bloody action. And this is what you could do as well. Because of your action, you can create something humongous. But you've just got to promote it. You've just got to tell people about it. I'm thinking about that movie, Field of Dreams. If you build it, they will come. Sorry, I've got an itchy eye. So promote it. You can't sell a secret. How many times have I said it? Number 8, build relationships. And I mean this. Really build relationships. You've got to start going to see people. Now, I know everyone's busy. I know everyone works hard. I get it. Currently, I'm doing 18-hour days, 5 to 6 days a week, as well as being a dad, as well as I'm preaching this Sunday, as well as other stuff that I've got going on in my life, all right? It's not a forever thing. It's just a seasonal thing. It's just 3 months. And I'm not saying you got to do 18 hours a day. No way. But in your planning, we're about to do our next quarter plan, by the way, and you'll have if you're a platinum client, you probably already have your quarterly planning sheets. Book your time with Melissa for me. If you're a group coaching client, you'll have your planning sheets in the next 5, 6 days, 7 days at the worst. And you should go back and watch the planning webinar again and do your planning according to what I taught you last time. Platinum clients, we do it one-on-one, and we do it hardcore. But you got to plan the time in. If you haven't got this time planned, you're screwed. You'll feel busy. So, okay, I go to bed still at 11. I wake up at 5:30. My days are full, man. My days are chockers. But everything is planned. I have no time to have coffee with mates. I have no time to play squash, which I like to do. I got very little time to do anything else. But everything's planned to the minute. Yesterday, my daughter got a flat battery in her car. She just got her license. She got a flat battery already. Don't ask. And that wasn't in my plan. So things will still happen, but at least I can see what I missed out on doing, and I've now shifted that. And I haven't worked a Saturday in 20-something years, but I'm working this Saturday because I lost 4.5 hours running around after her, running around after Jamie, trying to fix things. You get what I'm saying? If it's not in the plan, it won't happen. But if it's in the plan and shit happens, you move it from the plan to somewhere else. I can't make it any more simple, right? But you got to plan. And in that planning, you've got to build relationships. And you've got to have your relationship building time. So I've got in my diary, and I had a meeting, what day was it? Tuesday, 9 o'clock, turned up to meet the CEO of a company called Biteable. They're the dudes who created the cartoons that I use inside Profit Rocket. So cool guys, right? Based in Hobart. Great company. Turn up, 9 o'clock. He's not there. I'm in his office waiting. He's not there. So I get him on Facebook chat, because that's where he is. Hey, dude, where are you? Oh, I'm at home. I've got conjunctivitis. And I'm like, that's effed. Why didn't you tell me? Sometimes things don't work out. But as a result of building the relationship, I still turned up. I was able to then use that time to build relationships with his team. And look, it always works out really well. But you've got to have it planned. And I just wanted to, again, remind you about the 6 Ps. Prior preparation prevents piss poor performance. Make the plan, stick to it. Avril, you know all about it. And if you haven't seen Avril's video on Profit Rocket this week, watch it, because it's legendary. Really cool. And I loved it. Number 9, You've got to talk to people, and you've got to ask for the RSVP. So the RSVP in some cases is, or in my case, buy the ticket. You might have commit, sign up, register, save a seat, pay $1 deposit, a $1 deposit. If you guys haven't heard my story with the $1 story, it's in Profit Rocket. Go in 90WT modules. Go listen to it. You know, for the cost of $1, people will commit. So how are you getting them to commit? How are you getting people to RSVP? Why is this important? Well, you've got to be able to plan for your side of things and your logistics as well. So get them to commit to your event. Once people are committed, then they're going to start talking about it. It's just what happens. They put it in their diary, create an event on Facebook, add videos to the event, add articles to the event, add free things to the event, get people to click, like, share, comment, socially engage, whatever. And if you create those tools for people and you get them to RSVP, then they'll end up turning up. We've done before where I was thinking back to the hair shows we used to put on. We used to do the autumn, winter, and spring, summer collections. And we'd fly in guest artists from all over the world. And, you know, if people didn't RSVP, they'd all want to do it last minute. We can't have that. Last minute doesn't work out well for you. Remember, feels good, good for you, good for others, good for the greater good. Let's not forget the good for you bit. Got to get them to RSVP. Got to get them to commit. Number 10, so important. Let me take a sip of water. There's a bit for me to say here. You need a plan for all of these areas for sign up, show up, pay up, and follow up. All of these processes are different. So when they sign up, what's your process for when they sign up? What do you send them? How do you thank them? How do you communicate with them? Then what's the process prior to getting them to show up? Normally what you should do, 7 days out, 3 days out, 1 day out, the hour before and just as it happens. So you should have a whole bunch of communication for them for the event. Then pay up. What's your process for getting them to pay up if it's a paid event? Paying up sometimes means time or money. So how do you get them to pay up? And then follow up. Did you know, and you wouldn't know, of course you know, because you've all done your modules. Who can type in for me the percentage? So this is a test right now. What is the percentage increase in likelihood of sales with follow-up? Whoever gets the percentage right will win. I will buy some chocolate from Morris and send it to you. And Morris, if you get it right, I will buy something else awesome from someone else and send it to you. So what is the percentage likelihood increase right now? Just so I can see you're all here still. I'm going over to the comment section now. Mel Hall says 80, Andrew says 30. You're both wrong. Dave Bowman says 60. He's close. 85 from Sarah. 63, 75. 70 from Richard. 70 from Morris and Helen. No one's getting chocolate so far. Oh, Dave Bowman, Mel Hyatt. Dave just very close. You're both very close. It was 56%, but I'll take 55 just in the interest of time. David Bowman, you were first. You get some chocolate from Morris and Helen. Morris and Helen, hook me up with some chocolate. I need to send some to my friend David, who just won. Yep, that flavor sounds good. David, if you could send Morris and Helen your address via Facebook chat, and Morris and Helen, if you could send me an invoice, then we're good. Thanks. That was easy, wasn't it? I love giving away things, especially when I don't have to do the work for the shipping. Thank you, Morris and Helen. You're a star. So follow-up is absolutely vital. So 56% of all sales will be made with follow-up. Follow-up means what do you guys get when you don't turn up to a webinar? It's just simple, one email. Hey, really, really sorry that you didn't make it today. Here's where the replay is. Follow-up. Simple, it's automated. Then when I do my sales webinars, not that I do them much anymore, but when I do my sales webinars, much the same as what I'll be doing with my seminar, look, I'm really sorry that you couldn't make it. I'm going to I've got postcards made, business breakthrough postcards, that'll be going out to the people that just didn't turn up. And then all the people that I've been marketing to that never even bought a ticket, they'll get a video from the event that'll be like a wow video. Why? Because I'm running the freaking thing again 3 months later, and I want them to turn up to that one. And then after that one, I'm doing one in Victoria, in Frankston, actually. And so if you're in Frankston, Mornington area, I'll be doing one in, so we're doing May, June, July, August here. Probably in November, I'll be doing Frankston. November, December, I'll be doing Frankston. So late November, early December. So I'm doing that because I'm going to Melbourne anyway, so I might as well go and do an event while I'm there. Why not? And then we'll do Sydney. So I know I said I'd come to Sydney this year. I'm not. I'm coming to Sydney next year. And we'll do the event in probably March in Sydney next year, which would be cool. I'll probably do 3 in Sydney. But none of that will be possible unless I do a really good follow-up process, because the follow-up process is based on, hey, FOMO, guess what you missed out on, right? So we need to show them what you've done. Show them behind the curtain, show them behind the scenes. Cool? Great. If you guys have got questions as well, no one's typed questions in. So if you've got questions as I'm going, I've got another 5 points or so to go through. Then I'll be taking questions. If there's no questions about this, then I'll know I've done a very good job, and I'll assume every single person is going to take action on this, and I will take no excuses or prisoners. Cool? Good. So document the event, which is what I just talked about there. I have already booked a photographer. His name's Owen Fielding. Owen will be coming to my event. He's a good guy. And he's the guy that did all my motorcycle shots. If you haven't seen those, he did a really good job. Yes, I was a bit fatter. Maybe I should get him to do them again. Now I'm a little bit slimmer. It's good being slim as well. Be fit, be strong, be healthy. But document your event so you can use it. That's free promotional material for you for the next thing. Even if you've got 3 people turn up, still document the darn thing. It's cool. It doesn't mean it has to be like the giant Spiegel tent experience. Just document the darn thing with some photos. Even if it's 3 of you standing there together. Hey, we did it. It's an event. Even if it's you and your business partner and one other person. Hey, look at our event. It's cool. You should come to the next one. We had the best time. It was so ridiculous. Wow, we had so much fun. We did this. We talked about this. You got to sell it. Sell what people haven't seen. And then, the first event Tony Robbins ever did, he had 6 people turn up. And now he gets, far out. Feels like the MCG. So stick with it. I was talking with Scott Harris the other day. He's a very good friend of mine. If you don't know who Scott is, he's Tony Robbins' right-hand man in Australia, and he's a really good mate of mine. We've been working together now. Well, not working together. We're mates. We used to work together back in a restaurant, back before either of us were coaches or consultants. And Scott's first event, he only had 24 people. Now he has 10,000. So, you just got to stay with it, keep documenting it, keep sending it out, and never lose heart, and never lose faith, and never give up. You just got to keep doing it, right? Show everyone what they missed. That's what I just talked about, FOMO. Have more than one party. If you put all your eggs in one basket, it's a little foolish. So you got to have more than one party going on. And I've just told you my schedule of events, one after the other, after the other, after the other, after the other. Mine are spaced 3 months apart. And you just got to keep going. You just got to not give up and keep going. Keep momentum. Momentum is the key. Right, so if I do this event at Blundstone, I've only got like 10 people, will I be spewing? Absolutely. Because it will have cost me a lot of money. And it is. It's an expensive thing for me to do. But who cares? Like, it's a great ad. You don't worry about what it costs. You don't. Even if it's break even for me, and that'd be good if it's break even. I'm happy because I've broken ground, and people have seen something, and then I've got something to show more than something to show for next time. Just something to get the people that were so close to saying yes this time, to coming to something. This is for you. People that were so close this time to saying yes, but they said no because they're like, "Oh, we'll just wait and see how this goes. We'll just wait and see. I don't know him, I don't like him, and I don't trust him. But I'm just going to wait and see how this goes. And if everybody there says it's shit,
then I won't go to the next one if he has another one. But I'll tell you what, if they go, I want to go because I don't want to miss out on anything. But I don't want to go right now because I don't know what's going on, and I just want to see that it's not a load of shit. You know what I'm talking about? You know those people? That's why you got to do more than one, right? Because you got the people that are sitting around in the background waiting to see if you're going to burst into flames because you're becoming a tall poppy and they all want to cut you down, right? So you just got to cut them off at the pass and get in and zig when you think they're going to zag, when they think you're going to zag, and so on. Got it? Cool. This is the big one. We got to start today. There's no tomorrow with this one. This is a you've seen. I don't know if you've seen this, and if you haven't, jump on board this movement. I want all of you on this. Myself and I have a partner in crime, Samantha Riley. So you might have seen Sam humming around in the background thinking, oh, what's this chick doing? All right, well, Sam and I are accountability partners. And I don't make that public and Sam doesn't make that public, but we conspire with one another. She's very good. And apparently so am I. That's what she tells me. And every week we catch up Monday morning at 6 o'clock. And we talk about our week and what we're going to do and how we've strategized. And she picks holes through my stuff and I pick holes through her stuff and we put our maps together. And through doing this, we came up with a movement called Today I Will. And it was to end procrastination and end that anxiety focus and what do we call it? Like a analysis paralysis. So we wanted to end all of that and start something, help people start something today. So jump on the hashtag Today I Will, and I want to see on your Facebook pages before Monday morning, right? Something ace, just freaking blow my mind, all right? And here's how easy it is to blow my mind. You will blow my mind by just doing something. That's how easy it is to blow my mind. You can just have first launch of the egg and spoon race at this place. Hashtag Today I Will, join in. Just blow my mind with something. I want to see that you've started. You've heard me say it again. I'll say it again. Don't let perfect get in the way of better. Just do it. Don't shrink back. Don't make yourself small. You are better than all of that. You've got this and you can do it. And I believe that you can and I want you to. So, Mel Hyatt's put a question mark. Let's see. What is the question mark about there, Mel Hyatt? So questions. I'm looking for questions now. There's 13 of you here. If I don't get at least 2 questions, I'll be disappointed because I want to help at least 2 people personally. Let's stop sharing that. I'll come back to my big fat heads at full screen. Oh, okay. Mel said she was real-time thinking. Okay, so if there's no questions, I want to hear right now. Type them in. What is the number one learning that you've got from today? So put an L for learning. Number one learning you've got from today. And if you don't want to put that, put the letter A and the number one action that you're going to take today to make it happen. Oh, question, Mel Hall. Our own events versus an existing one, i.e. winter running events. Yeah, so that's a great idea. You've got your existing event. So Mel Hall's already doing an event. So Mel, that running event you're doing is already an event. You know what I'd like you to do? That I'd like you to just make it a bit more open, a bit more inclusive, and tell more people about it. Naturally start to build the conversation and the momentum. Yeah. So you could at the same time just build a smaller event as well. So that's one event. What's your next one? And what's the next one? So running, that's good. You've captured the people that are running. What's another sensibility that you could capture for people who don't like to run? Just thinking, right? So it might be all right. So a client of mine that had a coffee shop, has a coffee shop still, Sue, great lady. She does world records. She holds the Guinness Book record for the most coffees made in a day or an hour or something like that. Some ridiculous number. So there's an event. You know, what's a world record you could beat? What's something fun where you could capture the attention of the local paper? Here's one for all you step into lifers. Everyone do this. Contact all your local schools. Tell them you're going to do the world record skipping rope championships, where you want everyone to come down the park with a skipping rope and help you break the Guinness World Record. Find out what the Guinness World Record is. Go break it. Done. All right? Or you get your heads together, do it all at once. Most people with a skipping rope in the country. If you don't want to do skipping rope, do people with a soccer ball. Don't want to do a soccer ball, do the world's longest tunnel ball. Don't want to do tunnel ball. Actually, that'd be a really good one. Don't want to do tunnel ball, do the world's longest, world's biggest, world's fastest, whatever. Get your Guinness Book of World Records out and do something really cool. I'm going back through. Hopefully that was helpful for you, Mel. Mel Hyatt said, get on with it. So that's an action. Good, thank you. Andrew said 17 days, 3 days, 1 day, 1 hour. Yes. Sorry, that was a small L, not 17 days. 7 days, 3 days. Yeah, that's cool. So you're talking about follow-up. Awesome. Sarah's learning was build relationships. Absolutely, dude. Yeah. Without relationships, you're dead. Just dead in the water. And not you personally, the business. You're not dead. You're amazing, fit, and strong, and healthy, and awesome. C. What did I say C was again? Okay. Mel Hall. C. I meant, can we invite people to the Adelaide running events each month? Yeah. But yes, I want to bring in those who aren't marathon runners. Yeah, of course you can. Dude, it's your business. Do whatever you want. Invite. Yes. Keep adding to it, and be, just keep adding. Absolutely. Be open and inviting. Absolutely. Rita is here. That's awesome. Rita, did you hear me talking about you before? Were you here then? Hope you were, because you're amazing. Rita says, when shit happens and interrupts your plan, just shift. Just shift, even if it takes weeks. Hey, Rita and I talked about a really cool thing the other day. Best word in the English language when it comes to getting stuff done in your business, and that word is adjust. Adjust. Oh, Rita, you missed me talking about you. You'll see it in the replay. What we talked about, Rita, was remember when I said to you that I really want for your winter to be busier than your busiest summer. I talked about that earlier, so that's what you missed. And I asked everybody to ask you. See you, Mel Hyatt. No worries. She's got to go. That's cool. Good to have her here. Emma Somerville said an event that's out of the ordinary. I'm not sure what it is yet, but Emma, if you get stuck, ping me. Let's chat about it. In fact, if anyone gets stuck, just ping me and we can chat about that on Facebook chat or whatever. Chris Hennessy, glad to see you're well, man. Winter can be huge. Winter can be, how huge can it be? So huge. It can be so huge. He's going to run a member challenge across winter. Awesome. He's never done it before, but he's super excited about the ideas that this webinar has inspired. Chris, I love working with you. Dude, you fill my cup, man. That's so cool. Andrew said, Anzac Day. Absolutely. Come on, bring it on. Lots of stuff you can do around Anzac Day. Dude, super cool. That's called utilization, what Andrew's just done there. Utilizing something that pre-exists in order to strengthen what you already have. Andrew, very smart. You get some brownie points today. Mel Hyatt said, running technique / professional input event. Yes. Awesome. Yeah. Be the expert. Invite people down for, what if you could bring people to, this is for you fitness dudes, bring people down to the park, get them to run, tweak their running style, get them to run better. Awesome. I'd turn up for that because I don't know how I can't see myself when I run, so I don't know if I'm running well. Maybe I'm not. Maybe I'm injuring myself. Dave Bowman said, take responsibility for the atmosphere around winter. Dave, you're another person I'm really loving working with at the moment. Dude, you are absolutely smashing it out of the park. Thank you for your hard work. Thank you everyone for your hard work. But Dave Bowman, I'm just loving your guts right now. Rich Hallett, whose birthday it was last week. Amazing dude. Love him as well. Every time I talk to Richard, I get excited. Planned venue versus venue. Oh, yes, venue versus venue challenge. Freaking awesome. you need a medal or a trophy. You need something to covet, like the ashes. So you need something, right? So if you're going to do it, you got to fight over something because it's never about the event. It's always about the thing. Even if it's something like a rock with a plaque on it, all right? That was just a paperweight that was on the table there. Got it? Cool. Race home from work. I was just getting Penny's comment there. Penny said Penny put something in about a technique app called Huddle. So that's obviously for you dudes. All right, so guys, that's all we've got time for today. Like I said, it's an absolutely beautiful corker day, so I'm going to go. Check it out in the replay. I gave you a heap of stuff really fast today. If you guys want copies of the notes, let me know. Hopefully you guys have absolutely loved it. If you see me post anything that you like, if you want to know anything about any of the video techniques I'm using, any of the programs I'm using at the moment, any of the latest, I'm always tweaking and updating and all that sort of stuff. Bring all your questions to the Q&A webinar, which will be happening in a couple of weeks' time. Now I'm healthy again. I'll be running the webinar that we missed in a couple of weeks as well, so look out for that. I am back to full health. Thank you for those who are looking after me and shouting out to me and praying for me and all that sort of stuff. You're all awesome. Guys, I'm out. It's weekend time. I'm going to buy my wife a birthday present. She's off to Sydney. If anyone's in Sydney and any of you girls, if you're up around the colour conference thing at Sydney, look out for my wife. She's up there. My daughter's up there as well. Otherwise, I'm out of here. Thank you so much. God bless you all. Have a good weekend. Bye.